Welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, today we're doing something really cool. We're setting the stage for an incredible look into the deep, hidden mechanics of your body's metabolism. We're talking about prolonged fasting. Specifically, what exactly happens when you cross that formidable 5-day finish line, and honestly, more importantly, what you absolutely must do the second it's over. Look, if you've made it through 120 hours without a single bite of food, that is just a monumental achievement. Your discipline is completely off the charts. But I need you to hear this loud and clear. The most dangerous part of your entire fasting journey, it's actually your very next meal. It sounds totally counterintuitive, right? But breaking a prolonged fast incorrectly isn't just going to give you a bad stomach ache. It can literally put your life at risk. So let's dive right into our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the 5-day fast date. Second, the refeeding syndrome danger. Third, the golden rules of refeeding. And finally, we'll wrap up with a step-by-step menu. All right, starting off with Section 1, the 5-day fast state, or what your body looks like after 120 hours without food. To really understand why that next meal is such a huge deal, we first got to establish your physiological baseline. Basically, we need to remind ourselves what zero food intake actually does to you. Now, what's fascinating here is how profoundly your body adapts to what it essentially perceives as starvation mode. By day 5, your insulin sensitivity is sky high, meaning you are incredibly reactive to any sugar or carbs. Your glycogen stores, your stored carbohydrates, are completely wiped out. You've successfully flipped the switch entirely over to burning fat for fuel. But here's the kicker for what we're talking about today. Your digestive enzymes and your gut microbiome, they've essentially gone to sleep. Your digestive system is just completely dormant. There's a clinical observation that says your digestive enzymes have been dormant. Waking them up with a pizza will cause severe distress. I want to highlight that specific quote because it hits the nail right on the head. Look, I know that after 5 days, human nature is just screaming at you to reward yourself with the biggest, heaviest, greasiest meal possible. But throwing a dense, complex meal at a sleeping digestive tract, it's literally like forcing someone to sprint a marathon the absolute second they wake up from a coma. It's just a biological disaster waiting to happen. Moving right along to Section 2, refeeding syndrome, which is a very severe medical danger. We really need to transition from the annoyance of a stomachache to a grounded look at a scary medical reality. This is exactly what we're trying to avoid: refeeding syndrome. The clinical definition calls it a potentially fatal condition characterized by severe fluid and electrolyte shifts in malnourished or fasted patients undergoing refeeding. Let me be perfectly clear here. We're not just talking about getting bloated or feeling a little nauseous. This is a severe medical emergency. And it happens when you introduce too much food, especially carbohydrates, way too quickly into a mineral-depleted body. So how exactly does this biological mystery unfold? Let's just walk through it step by step. Step 1, you break your fast with a heavy load of carbs. Step 2, because your insulin sensitivity is so incredibly high right now, this triggers a massive, explosive release of insulin. And then step 3, that crazy insulin spike forces a rapid cellular uptake of glucose. But, and here's the dangerous part, it drags your vital electrolytes, specifically phosphate, magnesium, and potassium, right out of your bloodstream and into your cells. This sudden, violent drop in blood electrolytes, it can literally cause your heart to experience life-threatening cardiac arrhythmias. To really grasp the severity, just consider the official NHS clinical guidelines detailing high-risk factors for refeeding syndrome. The criteria are super specific. Things like having a BMI under 16, unintentional weight loss, having negligible nutritional intake for more than 15 days, or just a history of prolonged fasting. If your medical history places you in any of these high-risk categories, the critical safety protocol is that you absolutely should not refeed on your own. You must break your fast under medical supervision. Now, sure, a healthy adult doing a single 5-day fast is at a lower risk than someone who's chronically malnourished. But the biological mechanism, it's exactly the same. Your electrolytes are already depleted. You just cannot afford to shock your system. All right, on to Section 3, the golden rules for a safe refeeding protocol. Now that we've covered the really serious medical dangers, let's pivot to the practical, universal solutions that will keep you perfectly safe. I really need you to imprint these 3 non-negotiable rules into your mind. Rule number 1, go slow. You absolutely must wake up the gut gently with easily digestible liquids before you even think about solids. Rule number 2, stay low carb. I can't stress this enough. This is the absolute most important rule to prevent that massive, dangerous insulin spike we just talked about. And rule 3, watch your electrolytes. You have to continue supplementing sodium, potassium, and magnesium as you slowly reintroduce food just to prevent those dangerous fluid shifts. There is a really stark contrast when choosing your first foods. On the safe side, we've got early foods like bone broth, maybe a small serving of unsweetened Greek yogurt, some soft steamed veggies, and very lean protein. Think white fish. These are gentle, they're friendly to your system. But on the danger side, heavy dense fats, deep fried items, complex carbs, and refined sugars. Please, whatever you do not break a 5-day fast with a burger and fries or some massive bowl of pasta. The carbs are going to trigger that huge insulin spike, and the heavy fats, they will completely overwhelm your dormant digestive enzymes, causing some really severe gastrointestinal distress. Which brings us to Section 4, the step-by-step menu for navigating Day 6 safely. So, what exactly should you be eating? Let's map out a timeline and see how it builds a perfectly safe schedule for your first day back to eating. Honestly, feel free to just jot this down or screenshot it. Okay, so at 10 a.m., you break the fast with just 1 single cup of bone broth. Nice and easy. 3 hours later, around 1 p.m., you introduce a small transition snack of fermented foods. And then finally, at 6 p.m., your main meal consists of soft steamed veggies and a small portion of lean protein. The physiological purpose behind each of these meals is incredibly specific. That morning bone broth, it provides collagen to gently soothe and repair your gut lining without requiring any heavy lifting from your digestion. Then, that lunchtime fermented food, like a little bit of sauerkraut or kimchi, begins to actively repopulate your dormant gut microbiome with healthy bacteria. It's waking everything up. And that dinner? Providing about 25 to 30 grams of easily digestible lean protein, like poached chicken or fish, gives your body the necessary amino acids to start rebuilding any lean tissue you might have catabolized during the fast. And notice, even at dinner, we are still completely avoiding heavy red meat or dense fats. But listen, our protocol doesn't just end on day 6. I really have to warn you about something clinical data calls the adaptation trap. During a prolonged 5-day fast, your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, actually dips slightly just to conserve energy. So if you immediately jump back to your normal pre-fast maintenance calories on day 7, you're actually eating into a caloric surplus, and you're going to experience a rapid fat rebound. The secret here is to reverse diet. You want to slowly increase your calories over, say, 5 to 7 days, just to allow your metabolism to fully wake back up. Which leaves us with one final, kind of provocative question. Did your 120-hour fast actually burn fat, or did it just waste muscle? We know for sure that within the first week of refeeding, all that lost glycogen and water weight will absolutely return to the scale. The only true way to know what you achieved is with hard data. Getting a baseline and a post-fast DEXA scan, like the ones offered by BodySpec, once you're fully rehydrated, completely strips away the noise of water weight and reveals your true fat loss. Fasting is a really powerful tool, but breaking it safely and verifying your results with real data, that's what makes it a lasting transformation. Keep learning, stay safe, and always respect your metabolism.